So I'm here at Champ's Barbers with Champ and Marc Republic from Philadelphia in America. We're quite blessed today for Marc to be in on this clipper review. The very first clipper review we're going to do is cordless rotary motors. If you know cordless rotary motors, you'll know that they're the most powerful motors they are. We're doing a cordless review, so this is no cord and they're battery operated. So we're going to kick off today with the BGR Plus, which is an Andis clipper. I'm going to start off with Marc to get Marc's take on this particular clipper itself. So Marc, tell me, what's your opinion, your take on the BGR?
Well, my take on the BGR is I love it. I've been using it for about 2 to 3 years now. And one thing I will say is it's heavier on the back end because the battery is detachable, and the clipper is a much heavier clipper with the battery end. So you know when I'm cutting it, you can still feel the weight on this end. But overall, it's a great clipper. I love it. Probably the longest I ever had a clipper is this actual one right here. So yeah, it's a great clipper.
Do you use it with the Andis guards or do you put Oster guards, because they're interchangeable, aren't they?
Yeah, they are interchangeable. Most detachables are. I like the Andis guards because they have the ceramic underblade.
Okay.
So I prefer the underblade to be that ceramic. But they're amazing. I love the way they feel. I like the 3 lines on the back, which you know helps my thumb have better grip. To me, it's all about comfort.
And the weight?
The weight, yeah. The weight is a little heavier, you know, but it has to be comfortable in my hand.
Okay.
Definitely.
Champ, what's your take?
Well, to be honest, I started using these because of Marc. When his last trip out here, he showed me, I saw him using them and I asked him about him and he said, yeah, Champ, this is what you need in your life. Great bulk, taking out bulk, cleaning up over the top for all them 1 levels. Weight distribution, like he says, is true. The battery does give it a little bit, but that can even help you on your C motion. It's a bit chunky, but again, it's comfort in your hand. If you're a bigger man, a bigger barber, or obviously, sorry, a woman also, but if you've got big hands, it can, you know, it depends on that, your comfort as you're cutting. It's a touch heavy, but believe me that you can go probably all day on the battery life of this. You won't even have to throw it back in your charger stand. What can I say? Yeah, these, like when they're on, easy, take these off. Nothing happens to you as you pull them off. They're amazing. Andis is Andis, really, you know.
Right. And one thing I want to touch on is, like you said, the battery life. Even though it's not the new ion battery, the battery life on this is pretty long. Like I use them a full day, work Friday and Saturday, and I really don't have any issues as far as it going down. When I'm doing some other detail work with some outliners, I just put it back on the charger and I pick it back up, and it still has the same amount of power. So yeah, it's great.
Okay, and Champ, you actually use Oster as well. Do you use them solely with the Andis blades or do you interchange with the Oster blades?
I do like the ceramic. I do find that they actually go through hair a lot easier. But I do use both of them if it's handy. And some of the things, some of them are, if a haircut's like more bulky, I'm taking out bulk and that, I'll use any of them really. Like the Oster ones, they do a good job too. They're pretty strong. Whereas if I want a different texture on the hair, I'll use the ceramic. It just depends on the hair texture and also thickness of the hair.
Okay, so let's score this bad boy now. Your marks out of 10 all round.
I'd give that about an 8.
Yeah. I was thinking about it.
It's strong. It's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it a 7.5 or 8 just based on the weight. It's a little heavy, but yeah, solid 8 is fine.
Okay, so the big one last question in closing. How would you say that compares to a corded rotary motor? Hence the Model 10, the 76, being cordless.
To me, it's no difference because I have used these with the cord. I've had the BGRs corded before I decided to go with the battery, and you know, outside of the weight, I didn't feel like it lost any power at all. And one thing I like to add is like the way the switch is, it's very comfortable. Like, you know, like I said, in a full day of work, I can pick it up and my thumb is automatically right there. So, you know, button placement is important too. So, you know, it's right there.
Okay.
You know, where some clippers, you know, you have to put your thumb down, you know, it's not that accessible.
Okay. And how do you think it compares power-wise from a cool diff? Because you do actually work on both, don't you?
Yeah, power-wise, it's strong. Like Mark said, if you put it on the charge stand, you can take it off. If it's been charging, you know, it's really strong. With regards, obviously, to a Model 10 or a 76. 76 is obviously bigger. The Model 10 would have been roughly around the same size as that, but obviously because you're cord, you're having to hold a cord in the other hand to work, or it's definitely easier to work with. I have used both of them on a recent trip. I bought the cable to it, and the cable to that one has got even the speed with speed up and bring down the speed, which was actually kind of fun to play about with. So yeah, it's pluses and cons in that, but very strong machine.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on to the lithium ion Oster Octane. Your take on that, Mark?
Well, visually it looks beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful looking clipper. I like the graphite design. It's a little lighter than the BGR, but you know, if I close my eyes and pick it up off my station, to me it doesn't really feel that comfortable. Just for my preference, the way I hold my fingers. You know, the grips are right here, and the way I hold my fingers on my clipper is kind of like on an angle, and I put my thumb right here, so it just doesn't feel that, you know, comfortable in my hand. But
so even though it's skinny, that's bears no relevance.
Yeah, it bears no relevance. Another thing is button placement. Like I said with the BGRs, you know, I have to bring my thumb down like this. So, you know, I feel like it would be a stress on my hand.
Okay.
Holding it how I'm used to holding it.
I don't think it's as natural.
Yeah, it's just not natural from the way I hold my clippers. Everybody holds their clippers different, but beautiful clipper, very light. The battery lasts a long time. I know a few other barbers that use this and they love it. And like I said, my only complaint is the fact that the button is placed kind of odd for my liking. And right here, it comes out a little wide, but it's a beautiful clipper, nice, lightweight.
So maybe for a lady who's never had the pleasure of using a rotary motor, they might like that based on the circumference of the handle.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people, a lot of ladies, and a lot of, you know, male barbers will definitely appreciate it. It's just, you know, for me, just the way it feels and the way I hold my clippers, you know, it just doesn't feel too good in my hand.
Okay, and how do you feel about the noise of that compared to the BGRs? Is that quite...
It's a little too loud. A little too loud. You know, if they can make them a little quieter, that'd be good. Most Oster detachable sound have the same sound. And most Andis detachables are quieter, I noticed.
Okay, perfect. What do you have to say about that, ergonomically, comfort-wise?
Yeah, ergonomically, kind of like the same sort of thing with the battery being at the back end, like that. So weight distribution. I found with this, when I have used it, I've used both of them, and again, I find myself sort of like having to change kind of like the way I've always cut. So again, but I've got to turn it on here and then move up here, and then for my C motion, again, it's kind of like pulling me back. But this machine is very, very strong. The battery is very, very long lasting. It's very, very good. The only thing, like, I used this once with a kid, and I thought, right, this kid's one of his first haircuts, so I'll get through it quicker with this. And the minute I turned it on, he just started crying straight away. So it really scared him. But again, like for bulk, all overs like that, it is very good, and you'll find that you'll go through the top, when you check, you know, when sometimes you'll see like a couple of hairs, like, you know, that the machine might have missed the first time. I've got to say, man, with this one, I didn't really have to check it again. Man, I don't know if that's got anything to do with power or the blades and stuff, because like I say, I prefer to use ceramic, and having used both, I throw a ceramic blade on this and the other one, but it doesn't matter if it's Andis or Oster or whatever, I'll throw it on there. But with this, for some reason, I really found especially with like my clip over comb stuff, when I held it like this, it felt nice as I did, whereas the BGR, it feels like you're going like that. So it's a little bit lighter for that. So again, like maybe you say if you're a hairdresser and stuff, like, I don't know.
And you're right, I do agree with you. When you hold it at this position, the clip over comb does feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it does, than the BGR.
Yeah, I agree. Because the BGR is more round, and this is more flat, so your hands just kind of feel a little better. So
it's a clipper over comb, cordless rotary motor. That's the one to have.
Yeah, so that's a great point that Champ made as far as, you know, also using it with your clipper over comb. The comfortability at that position is great.
And talk me through the kind of textures that this would throw off. What kind of textures would it throw off?
Really, every texture, you know, or every texture, I think it'll definitely be able to cut efficiently. But beautiful clipper overall.
And marks out of 10 for you, Mark?
I'll give it a 7.
So,
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd say another 8.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So same performance as the BGR, but just slightly different.
Yeah, because it's got like I say, like it's the weight distribution different. Maybe that switch, like I say, is a little bit more unnatural for you to actually have to go to the bottom of the machine to turn it on, and then you know, and then hold it in your natural position.
Maybe if the switch is right here.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I gave it a 7 is switch placement. You know, cutting, and even if you cut clip over comb, you can still, you know, turn it off like this. Switch placement and design the way it feels in my hand, but that might not affect other barbers.
So you have to do double action to go on and off.
Right.
So there you go, the Oster Octane. And last but not least is the new Andis ZR Supra, another great rotary motored cordless clipper for me. I'm not a barber, so I'm going to pass it on to Marc Republic, who's an expert master barber by American standards, and that's saying something, as we don't have any standards here in the UK.
Well, you know, looking at it visually, I love it. It's a beautiful clipper. I'm big on design and appearance, and the two-tone, different color, the little gray, and then when you turn it on, you know, that green light comes on, which I think is just dope. It just looks really nice. Like little added amenities to the clipper just makes it, you know, makes it special for myself.
Novel as well.
Yeah, and has five speeds, which is great. I love how smooth it is. Every position I hold it in feels great. It feels nice, you know. The weight is really good. The battery lasts a lot longer than the BGR.
Oh, this is another lithium-ion battery.
Lithium-ion battery.
Yeah, so we've got consistent power
Right.
until the very end.
Now, you have a lot of different speeds. I'm not sure if you really need that many speeds, but it's still good to have it. Like Champ said earlier, when he used the BGR with the plug attachment, he was able to have different speeds. But for me, I would just probably use top speed. Yeah, but beautiful clipper, man. I don't really see any you know, negatives about it at all.
Okay. And tell me, like, from novice barber, why would they take the speed way down? Because you can kind of hear the top speed. When you take it way down, it sounds really slow.
Maybe to add texture to the hair.
Okay.
You know, maybe like the lower speeds, like so the blade is moving slower, so you'll drop it down, and then you'll just kind of do like a feather, you know, action with your shears, or like as if they're like texturizing shears, or, you know, I guess that would probably be it. Or, you know, some guys do like a point cut thing on the top to mimic kind of like shear work, but I don't do that. But you know, to me, detachables and you know, are only meant for the top speed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like I said, it's good to have those other speeds, because I feel like once you get to these lower speeds, it's gonna give it kind of like a jagged look in the fade. So I just feel like top speed is that. But like to have it is great though.
Gotcha.
And another cool thing is each speed that you go up, the light changes. So the lower speed, light goes down, another lower speed, light goes down, and so on and so on. And so that's just like a really cool touch. So,
Okay, cool.
I love it.
Got a family calling in. Okay, what can I say? It's a little bit heavy. I've got to say that. It's a little bit heavy. Going back to kind of like to the BGR sort of weight of things. But the distribution of weight is different. It's no way heavier down here to up here or anything like that. And this sort of like here, it definitely helps you to hold it naturally. I find with this switch that I've got to turn it on here and then again go back to holding it at the top.
True.
I like playing with these speeds. I find that when I'm tapering at the back, if sometimes I won't go back to my clippers with arms, with fading arms, so I'll hit it on a lower speed, and then it comes. I find that the texture of the hair, if I'm using it slowly, it will come out a little bit more softer. You know, like sometimes you can tell that it's just been chopped off. But with the lower speeds, I can find that you can play with it and find like a softer texture to the haircut, especially if it's a little bit longer. Battery life is unbelievable. I would say, you know, my go-to at the moment, my go-to, everything, bulk. It doesn't run out on me all day long. A very cool barber sent me it. Thank you very much. You know who you are, Kieran. And just say, yeah, Andis. Again, Andis is Andis, man. For me, this is so strong.
Sure.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
So would you say that's in the middle of both of the other two that we've just reviewed?
It's got that's a good way of putting it, Larry. Like it could be like in the middle. It's got like the bits and bobs that we've said. Like that one ain't got that one, but this one has got this one, and that this kind of got it all.
Yeah, because that's kind of mid-size between.
Yeah.
You know, the Octane's really skinny, whereas the BGR is a little bit fatter.
Yeah, the sort of slim line that Marc said that's nice here. It's got it.
Yeah.
But then obviously, how do you say it? I don't know how you say that, but like it's
the contour.
Nice contour.
Yeah, the contour to it is very natural in your hand.
Yeah.
Any way that you hold it.
Very smooth.
Look at that. It's very easy, and it doesn't feel like the other ones. If I'm holding it here for a clipper over comb, I will feel the weight here. The battery is holding, so I have to be stronger in the motion. But with this, I can just hold it like a pen, just, you know, and then flip it, beep, beep, beep. Again, the speed changing is good.
Right.
Again, like the BGR, when I told about the cable changing this, I can just play with it, bring it back down. Yeah.
So would you say, which out of all the three clippers do you think has had the most thought put into that?
I'd say thought put into it. Yeah. This is like the kind of like the hybrid of it, you know.
Well, it definitely has to have a lot of thought put into it, because each speed, the light on the front changes, you know, and then when you bring it down, it changes again. So the small details like that, you know, when you say thought and engineering, I feel like it got the most put into it for sure.
Okay, let's score it.
I would give it a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it?
I was gonna say let's give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9.
Okay. So there you have it.
Don't want to give it back, but it's mine.
So just to summarise, Larry the Barber Man's top 3 cordless rotary motored hair clippers at the moment are the Andis ZR Supra, the Andis BGR, and the Oster Octane. The Oster Octane got an 8, the BGR got an 8, and the new Andis ZR Supra got the 9. So that's the winner. of our review. Champs, thank you very much. Marc Republic, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I hope you guys at home found this review helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit up Champ on Instagram and hit up Marc on Instagram. Wealth of information, the pair of them. Thank you.